On to you, Capricorns. So you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and then you Capricorns also have the Scorpio energy. So, interesting, because it seems to me as if you Scorpios, excuse me, I just did the Scorpio video. You Capricorns are done with somebody kind of looking at you like you're the villain all the time and like you're a problem. Because you Capricorns don't see yourselves as that person anymore. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Scorpio energy, right? Now the Scorpio energy represents big transition. Not necessarily someone is going to bite the big one, but more so a transition of who you are and what you are about. Huge changes. I've never seen the Tower, or more so, and more so specifically this card, and it didn't mean a big change happening, whether it's external or internal or both. I've never gotten this card and it didn't mean that, ever. My 12 years of doing tarot is without an exception, never. And so this is how I know that there's big changes for you Scorpios, excuse me, for you Capricorns happening. Because the situation for you Capricorns is the Four of Pentacles and the Two of Swords here. It represents the dynamic of what you've had to put up with, which is the Nine of Pentacles, you Capricorns being peaceful, and at least striving to be peaceful, right? Wanting peace, kind of the solitude that you Capricorns have created is a sense of you finding your own peace, but also making sure that other people don't become annoyed at you or annoyed that you occupy too much of their space. So in other words, you kind of being in your own solitude is a matter of you not wanting them to be tired of you, right? Where they think that you coming around a little bit too much and that you're annoying to them. So you Capricorns will put yourself in a position of solitude, right? Not only that, but also it gives you a time to cool off, because you Capricorns, like, you gotta understand, like, Saturn has a whole community around it as well. If you've ever seen Saturn and stuff like this, Saturn has a whole community around it, a whole community of planets. Saturn has 16 moons around it, then other planets orbiting it. Saturn is huge. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever seen Saturn or whatever, Saturn is huge. 16 moons, fam. Holy. That is a lot of satellites. You dig what I'm saying? Satellites, meaning that, like, not the technological satellites, right? The word satellite just means, like, the word satellite just basically means surrounding. So, like, more so the surroundings specifically that are around you, that stay around you, in other words. So, like, Saturn has all of these different planets surrounding it, caught in its orbit, the moons, stuff like that. So you got to understand, like you got your whole community around you, and you would put yourself in solitude because of that. Now you Capricorns are making a big transition. Big transition. This is huge for you, because the Star card and the Queen of Wands right here represents things are changing for you spiritually, emotionally, mentally, right? Just as it is that they say that in astrology, when you study astrology, for all my astrology heads, just as it is that they say that as you get older, when you learn your life lessons, the rings of Saturn melt away. The actual rings of Saturn literally, I ain't gonna say literally, but physically are melting away. Scientists have found through the telescope that the rings of Saturn that are made from ice and rock and other things going on with it, right? Specifically the ice is actually melting slowly but surely. which are the rings. So literally, spiritually, so physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, things are happening for you, Capricorns, in a good way, because I've I, I've said this before, that the zodiac signs are changing, and the Saturn and the ice melting is literally evidence that the zodiac signs are changing in time. You Capricorns are changing for the better. You're not as icy cold as I remember y'all 10 years ago. You're not. A Capricorn would have been cruel, would have been mean to me. How do I know? Because I've been trying to get to know you Capricorns for the longest time. Because I love Capricorns. So I've been trying to get I have a special place in my heart for Capricorns and Aquarius, Saturn borns, because there's a weird but interesting, and I like it, relationship between Saturnian people and myself, right? I find them to be attractive, right? And like I said before, I don't know if I said this to y'all, but I was actually, I could have actually hung out today with a Capricorn that works in a hospital. I would have probably got some. So that's a third Capricorn in a row. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, so the rings that y'all had of ice is slowly melting. And what you're melting into, trust me, it'll all be worth it listening to me. The rings, so what this is melting into is the Star card and the Queen of Wands. The rings are melting because you Capricorns are learning more about yourselves. And that's probably part of where the distance was coming from, where the solitude was coming from. You are just as warm as the sun. You are just as warm as Leo or Sagittarius. You are warm. It's just that it took you a minute for you Capricorns to understand who you are. The coldness was coming from you feeling like you couldn't be that way with other people. You couldn't share certain aspects. And part of the reason why you couldn't share certain aspects was because of your surroundings. You have people, you are just as mushy and just as in touch with your emotions as your opposite sign. It's just that you were cold in that sense. You were cold in that sense because you needed to be. You weren't in an environment in which that was where people respected you if you actually did something like that. You opened up. And so now you Capricorns are in that environment. And yes, I was able to make her laugh. I was able to make the Capricorn laugh. She was like, "Why are you not coming along with your mom?" And I was like, "I gotta grind today." And she's like, "You sure?" Basically letting me know, hey, we could, I love Capricorns. Anyway, love that, and Aquarius, love Saturn borns, love them. Finger licking good. I'm telling you, if I could marry y'all, I'm telling y'all. You know what I'm saying? If I could get one Capricorn woman or one Aquarius woman, get along like that, and it's years, put a ring around a finger, telling you, and we good, and value systems is the same, telling you, put a ring around a finger. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'll put a ring around a finger. You know what I'm saying? I love that, and I love it. You know what I mean? I love it. I really do. Anyway, you have the King of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and then you Capricorns also have the Six of Cups. So the King of Swords right here for you Capricorns, again, it speaks to how a lot of you are in position where, for you Capricorns, right, you're about to glow up. You're a lot more fun-loving. You Capricorns are able to smile. You're more in tune with yourselves. And so now the way that you Capricorns are carrying yourself, it's not, right? You Capricorns, the thing that a lot of people don't know about you Capricorns that I know because I'm an astrologer, is that the thing with you Capricorns is that y'all could be happy on the inside, but y'all won't even show that y'all are happy, because that's how much y'all environment has has gotten you unhappy. Y'all figure I can't even smile because if I smile or whatever, it's only a certain matter of time until something happens that ruins my joy. But now a lot of you Capricorns are beginning to wake up and understand nothing can really take your joy away from you. A person can take your happiness away from you, but your joy is something distinctly different, because your happiness is short term and it's fleeting. Your joy is knowing that no matter what happened, people cannot take what you've built. You've always persevered. You know your own strength because you've lived it. The worst is behind you. The worst in your life is behind you, right? Everything else in life essentially is easier because you've already experienced the worst. I don't know if you Capricorns know, but y'all already have experienced the worst in your life. The majority of Capricorn is from the perspective of you go through a lot of stuff when y'all are young. It's the older Capricorns, the majority of the times, that don't have to go through nonsense. Capricorn and the Saturnian energy used to whip my behind when I was younger. I couldn't get anything that I wanted. Now that I'm a little bit older, I've learned certain lessons, it's a lot more easy for me. Not only that, but Capricorn has melted its rings. So I get a chance to get way more what it is that I want. Way more what I want. Because I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart. I have Saturn in Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Capricorn. Uranus in Capricorn. Neptune in Capricorn. My Lilith moon is in Capricorn. You dig what I'm saying? So, and then you have the Six of Cups. Because of how beautiful you Capricorns are and how you're carrying yourselves, a lot more people want to get to know you. And because of that, one of those people that want to get to know you is somebody whom you Capricorns actually have history with. The Chariot and the King of Wands right here represents how you Capricorns, are you going to take them seriously though? Because here they are coming in, trying to get to know you and get to know you and try to make things work with you. But at the same time, is this something that you Capricorns really want, right? Because to them, they may still try to make it seem like you Capricorns are the ones that's wrong. But you can't take them seriously anymore because you Capricorns have changed. You've grown. They haven't. They're still trying to project it onto you. But let's clarify some of these cards to make sure. Let's clarify the King of Wands. Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Three of Swords, Four of Wands, and then you Capricorns also have the Three of Wands. Right. The Ten of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, Three of Swords, they see you shining. Your ex sees you shining and doing your thing. You've become a lot more charismatic. You've been able to crack jokes. People understand your jokes. A lot more charismatic. People like you, right? You are climbing the social hierarchy, but not even trying, just being honest with yourself. But this person coming in, you're still no nonsense. You still don't want to have to deal with their dysfunction because you understand what they are. They're dysfunctional. The Three of Swords and the Four of Wands, the relationship of what you and them had is ancient history. You don't want to go back to them. So here they are. They may want you to come back, but you Capricorns don't want to come back to them. And at least that's their worry. That's their fear. That you Capricorns may tell them no. And truth be told, you Capricorns more than likely may tell them no because it may actually be ancient history. But they are afraid of that. That's why it is that they're so that they making it seem like you Capricorns were the worst person in the world. The truth is y'all were getting a bad reputation for that, even though that's not even really true. You got a bad representation. These people they have to make up stories about you in their head, right? Delusions and stuff like this, because you Capricorns probably were good to them. And maybe you did do certain things that were messed up, but you weren't so bad. See, the problem, here's the thing, right? And then you have the Three of Wands. Very important what I got to say at the end, but I'm going to go ahead and clarify this. The Three of Wands represents you Capricorns moving forward because you've learned your lesson. Life doesn't have to be so dark and gloomy. You can actually be yourselves, and that's what you Capricorns are learning to be, right? You being cold and stuff like this, yeah, those are aspects of you for sure, but you also know how to be charismatic and warm as well. And you Capricorns are learning how to do that, and it's working. You're seeing results from it because people actually find you to be attractive because they never even knew you had this side, because all you've shown them is, for the majority of the time, how shut down and how cold and how monotone you can be, right? They knew that you weren't boring, but you've made work or duty your whole life. And now it's a matter of, even if work and duty may be a big portion of your life, you know how to have fun with it and have other people as well as yourself enjoy it. Now, what I was going to say about you Capricorns personally is that from hanging out with you Capricorns, see, Virgo and Capricorn are actually a very good mix. It's actually one of the best mixes for Capricorn. The best zodiac signs, the most compatible, or the compatible zodiac signs for Capricorn is Taurus, Virgo, Pisces. You understand what I'm saying? Not another Capricorn. No. So it's actually a very good mix. Me being a Virgo interacting with Capricorn is actually, I've felt at home with Capricorn. This is why, as I say, I love it. The problem with it is, and I'm going to be real with y'all, is the Capricorn. Because I find that, as relating to the reading, y'all don't trust me, even though I was planning on always doing right by y'all. Because I got love for y'all. The two Capricorn women that I've had, you know, especially the Capricorn woman that I hung out with, you know what I'm saying, last, I'm not going to say any names, I had a lot of love for her. You know, still have a lot of love for her. It's just that she doesn't trust me. And we can't be in a connection. Okay, maybe you said you ain't want to be in a, okay, that's fine. But you wanted me, you gave me the book so that I can get a better understanding of who you are. Okay? You wanted me to like you. And the thing about it is that I did do, right? I did and I do. But at the same time, if you don't trust me because of my way of handling my business, okay, you don't particularly trust my foolhardiness. You may think, oh, okay, you know, well, Virgo, you're a little bit jokey or whatever the case may be. Right, but that's my antics. That's my antics. This is how I handle my business sometimes. It doesn't mean that I don't know how to be all business, but the situation for me is that I'm playing the role of the fool. I know how to handle my business now. But like I said, so it's not that you Capricorns are bad. It's just that you Capricorns are untrusting. And that was the thing that ruined my relationships with the Capricorns. They didn't trust me to actually do the right thing. Even though if they would have trusted me and they would have let time go by and let trust actually lead the way and stuff like this, right? Without their ego, they would have realized that I actually do care about them and that I actually do mean to do right by them. But they'll never know. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. I'm at 21,300. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. And if you'd like to get a personal reading from me, the link to that is in the comment section below. Peace.